Hi, everybody, and welcome again to the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. Sam Harvey, Fran Shulman, along with our guest, Brent Duncan, who is Athletic Director at CHS. Welcome, Brent.
Thanks for having me, Fran and Sam.
We had a ball game Friday night. I think you and all the other Spartan fans, I know Sam was happy, I was happy, because we won.
Well, it's always nice to win your homecoming game, so it makes the whole atmosphere. Had a great crowd, good weather, and the unfortunate part for us is, and actually unfortunately for the Broad Ripple kids, they just don't travel very well as fans. But
yeah, would they have 4 over there? I think
it wasn't very many. You feel for those kids. You
yes, you do.
Out there putting their heart in there, and their parents don't take the time and effort to. I know it's an hour, but it's your kid.
Well, and it's in talking to people from the Indianapolis schools, they think that it's forever to get to Connersville, and we're used to making long trips, or I don't really consider it a long trip. But if you remember last year when we were at Broad Ripple for a home game. You could almost count them on one hand, the fans that were there. I think we had more fans there than they did.
Well, I'm sure we did, and I know 3 years ago when we went to Indianapolis Northwest, we definitely had more fans in the crowd than they did, and that's unfortunate for the kids. But for our kids, it was a great night.
Yes, it was 26-0 was the final. What do you think was the turning point, Brent?
Well, I think we've been close in many of the games all year. You know, one game we fumbled the ball 5 times. The next game we just came out flat to start the game. 2 weeks ago, we just kind of threw egg in the last 7.5 minutes of the fourth quarter and come up on the short end of the stick. But I think we've been there, and
yes.
If I would have said optimistically we'd be 4-2 right now, I'd be pretty happy. But unfortunately, we're not 4-2 at this point in time. But we've been in enough of those games to be 4-2.
It was almost a perfect game. No fumbles by the Spartans. No turnovers, actually.
That might be the first time all year, and that's just a sign of some kids starting to mature a little bit. Obviously, our linemen are kind of senior dominated for the most part, but if you've been out there, most of our skilled people are freshman quarterback, sophomore running back, sophomore receivers, junior receivers, mostly underclassmen for our skilled position people. So.
I think we have a 70-man roster, and how many seniors?
11.
Everybody else?
59 of them are in the lower grades, so. You'd like to get 16 to 20 out of every class. If you can get 20 seniors out of every class, you're going to run 80 kids every year. And that's solid numbers to have from where you might be able to get some rest on one side of the ball and only play half of them on defense and half of them on offense. But you also have to have 80 football players, too. So.
And I remember not all that long ago where we were lucky to field dress 30 people. And, you got to give Coach Kelly a lot of credit for getting kids to come out and play. But back to the game the other night, I thought defensively, to shut out a team, I think that I was pleased with the defense, and I would think the coaching staff would have been too.
Yeah, Coach didn't say much, this morning, but I would think he'd have to be happy after, some of the things we've done defensively, penalties or long passes, and we shut all those down Friday night. And the first play from line of scrimmage, the quarterback broke the play and took off down the field for a nice gain. I thought, if he's going to be out on the outside, we could be in trouble. But they bottled him up the rest of the night. And were able to get things going our way and had a few turnovers to go in our favor instead of giving the ball back to him. So hopefully that's a sign to come. We have a big test this coming Friday, but
yes, we did.
We haven't been there before, so
you play the University of East Central this week.
Well, they've kind of grown, from the first time we started playing here 26 years ago. The East Central they were good, but they weren't quite as large as they are now. And I know they had a couple down years there, and I think the guys got it turned back around, kind of like when Ballard was there a few years back. And if I remember right, they're number 2 in the state. Somebody told me, but I haven't checked the rankings. So
they're 5-1. The only game they've lost was to a Cincinnati school, and we know what kind of football they play in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I think that was LaSalle, and I think they put a good thumping on them too. So
yes,
as Ohio's sports go, football is the sport. So.
Yes. Again, 26-0 was the final as the Spartans defeated visiting Indianapolis Broad Ripple. We have some highlights from the game, so let's watch those right now.
Oh, great job. And
through the middle, number 13, carrying the football and goes to the far sideline. The Dalton Light, the quarterback, runs out of bounds.
He was slammed down there, but that was a great play. I mean, that right there is Dalton got the ball. As you see, it was a fake handoff, and boom, he follows his running back, and he's got plenty of running.
Try a pass.
Oh, very good. As
nice
Foreman comes out.
Inside, he's at the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, and dragged down at the 12-yard line with a great run by number 6, Donovan Foreman.
A very good call there from Adam Kelly. We've been pounding it between the guards, and we kind of swung it out to the left. As you see, 55 coming out, leading the way for Foreman. Beautiful block right there from his guys, and look at the way that that Foreman switched his ball in his hand.
He pushed one of his own guys out of the way.
Oh, he had to. Again, watch this as you see Foreman coming in.
Number 6 carries, takes the handoff.
Yeah, he pulled his way in right there at the line, and he got it. Good
And
job.
finally, zeros are wiped off the scoreboard as the Spartans had a lead of 6-0 with 8:45 to go in the first half. Comes a pass coming up,
Oh, beautiful job.
knocked away by a Spartan.
Yeah, that was a beautiful watch. This, Fran, as you know, is that Dudas again? Yeah, that's Dudas.
Yeah,
right?
that's Chris,
Yeah.
number 26. He batted the ball down for an incomplete pass.
I tell you what, Broad
Yes.
Ripple does. So this may be 4-down territory for him.
There's another pass coming up, and it will be
Picked off.
by the Spartans.
Nice pick off there.
Coming up field and getting to the 41-yard line.
Doherty comes down with it look, I like the way the quarterback, sets his feet right there and he throws it, and, he just rifles it there and
Tipped
that's
by a Spartan
beautiful,
and grabbed
beautiful
in
job.
by Jacob Dougherty.
Yeah, Doherty right there, man. I tell you what, he had those sticky fingers and got it.
Important play coming up for Connorsville.
And he got it.
They got it up to the 40-yard line. The ball.
Oh, and he may be going more, friend. He may be going. What a beautiful.
The 30.
No, he's going to get caught. Oh, no, he's not. No, beautiful job. That is unbelievable. Just when we thought that he was going to be stopped, maybe for a 5-yard gain, Foreman breaks free, right? Beautiful play right here as he has just enough of the gap right there to get that first down. And right there, we thought that for all intents and purposes, the play is over as another guy comes in and tries to get him.
It kept going.
Yeah, but he starts zigging and zagging like the Energizer Bunny. Never gets up, keeps going, and he goes. And I thought one of the guys was going to come after him and get him, but he dove a little bit
He
too soon.
outruns the Broad Ripple defender, and into the end zone he goes.
Yeah, I thought 30. Wow. Oh, whoa.
Bud gets it off.
Boy, Sullenberger about nailed him.
Is taken by the Spartans at the 40.
Oh, he's got a wedge right there.
50, 40.
Yeah, nice run.
Nice quick run by the Spartans as number 32 returns that.
Yeah, that was a very nice run there from the Spartans. Oh, that's beautiful. He's in. Good job. Yeah, McHenry.
Number 11 as McHenry moves the ball into the end zone for the Spartans' third touchdown of the evening.
Very nice job. Look at that lane right there. I mean, that's just a beautiful lane. Beautiful blocking there from number 75, 65 right there, 75, I don't know, but beautiful blocking. And McHenry goes 19, and you only got 131 to go. This may be 4-down territory. If they don't get it, he fumbled it. He's back. Wow, that really changes things right there. Well, I tell you what, Stam, that dude he's a beast.
And Stem got there, the quarterback, about the same time Hall did.
Yeah.
Quarterback and dropped him.
Yeah, Stam is just, wow, he's.
There's a snap from center.
Oh, there's a pass. He's
pass.
wide open. That's a touchdown.
Pass.
That is beautiful. That's beautiful, Fran. You called that. That's right to the tight end Stam. I mean, that was beautiful play.
So the first pass of the night for the Spartans in this fourth period, and complete as
beautiful.
Stam was all by himself.
Yes, he
Nobody
was.
around him. Here come the Rockets. Quarterback rolling out, fires long, and it is three,
Picked
four
off.
guys around
Yeah,
here.
that's victory right there. Sullenberger. Yeah.
Picked off.
Yeah. Now the Spartans are finally celebrating.
By number 17 of the Spartans intercepts for CHS.
Unbelievable.
And it's Connorsville ball. TV3 will have the game in its entirety coming up this Friday and Saturday evening starting at 8 o'clock. So we invite all of our fans to watch the game. It was a great victory, and let's get some more, Brent.
Well, I hope it is a stepping stone to continue for the next 3 games. You know, we have a tough task this weekend with East Central coming, then we're back home against Lawrenceburg for senior night, and then the following week we're down at Batesville. Shortly thereafter, we'll be in the sectional, which is hard to believe just a month away, but it just seems like we started 2 weeks ago.
What happens on senior night? That's Lawrenceburg on October the 9th here at Connersville.
Well, we'll recognize all the fall athletes, seniors, football, all 8 sports, plus band.
Okay.
And I believe the cheerleaders go through as well. We do Spartanets at the winter time. I think they only go through one time at winter time, but we'll introduce the seniors and their parents and at halftime of the varsity football game.
It's always a nice event. I'm sure Adam really feels this year because these guys that will be graduating were freshmen when he came to CHS 4 years ago.
Well, he's put a lot of time in with them, and you know, after Coach Snodgrass left and Mr. Kirk came in, and then you get Adam. It's kind of been a building, so it's kind of nice. And I know sometimes it's sentimental when that first class that you've had from the beginning goes on out, but. You know, it's always happy for them to go, but there's always going to be somebody else come in behind them and restart.
In high school.
Or continue.
In high school, every year, every team is different. Graduation.
Yeah, it's not like college where you can recruit the type of player you want. You
Sure.
kind of got to adjust some of the things you do based on what your skills are and what kids are coming back out. But you hope you get them to where they're bought into your system and do the things they need to do as the summer goes along and all through the fall to make your program successful.
How's the football JV and freshman teams doing?
Well, combined, they played about 6 games, and they've won 3 and lost 3 if you combine their JV record along with their varsity record. And it's just hard to find games sometimes as numbers not only from us or ours are actually better than they have been in the past, but some of those local schools in the area have dropped a little bit in numbers, and so you lose one here and there. And, you know, we're traveling to Centerville to play JV tonight, and hopefully we'll come home with another win.
Hope so. What else is going on this week at CHS?
Oh my goodness, I know. I've got
Sam said earlier.
Got a whole calendar. We've got a
season?
couple volleyball games at home this week, Tuesday and Thursday.
Okay.
Boys soccer's on the road, I believe, this week. Girls
Batesville,
soccer's
I think they go to Batesville.
Batesville and I want to say Greensburg as well. And then girls soccer's at home on Tuesday against Franklin County, and they'll actually play a varsity game plus a half of a JV game for this coming week, and then they're at home against Greensburg on Thursday. Tomorrow night is actually senior night for the girls soccer team at halftime of the game. We'll recognize the parents and the seniors on that night.
Is the tennis season winding down? I know they'll be anxious when those courts are finally finished, but not in time for this year.
No, unfortunately not in time for this year, but if you've been out by the high school to look at them, they look really sharp, and we're just waiting for the next coat of the actual playing surface to get poured on. The asphalt's down, the fence is all up. They finished the fence today. They put the gates and the doors on, or should the gates and I think they finished maybe 1 or 2 of the little panels, but hopefully this week I think the Leslie Coatings is coming to put the coat on. But yeah, their last match is tomorrow at Union County. Sectional draw was actually today. We drew Rushville in the round of sectional, which we host. And we're still hosting, but we're hosting at Rushville. So
How's that work?
It's been a little different. I had to call today and ask if their trainer would be available to work the sectional because our trainer will be here doing volleyball and soccer at our place. So that starts Thursday at Rushville at 4:30. We will play Rushville on 3 of their courts, and Franklin County and Union County will play each other on the other 3 courts. And then on Saturday, the 2 winners will come back at 10 in the morning and play at Rushville at 10.
Okay.
Who might be favored in that sectional?
Well, I would think Franklin County's favored right now. We've had some close matches, but Franklin County, I think, has beaten everybody so far. We'll play Union County tomorrow night, so I'm not sure where we'll stand with them. But we got beat by Rushville last year in the opening round, so it's a little chance for
Some revenge?
a little bit of revenge. Maybe we'll get them.
It's always fun beating Rushville.
I don't mind hosting. I enjoy really hosting, but it's always nice to host on the second day when you have your team involved. Otherwise, I just get to go watch tennis, which is all right, but you sure want to have that inside, just kind of rooting them on to maybe bring home that trophy on Saturday. So.
You mentioned soccer. These guys, they're doing pretty well.
Yeah, you know, we've kind of gone through a spell where we had really good undefeated season a few years ago, and then we've just lost one, and then everybody thinks we're going to keep dropping off, and they just keep recycling. And you know, we're 10-3 right now. And we beat Crystal House Academy the other night 5-1. And we played Oldenburg on Saturday, and it was a good contest. And it was 2-1, I believe. And
Oldenburg usually has an excellent soccer team.
Oldenburg's really talented, and we played them Saturday morning, and I just know if they get ahead of you, they like to put the old 8 men in the box and say, score on me if you can. So it was nice to get out to an early lead, and then, of course, they tied us right away at 1-1, it seemed like, and then we got another goal there. Held on to win 2-1, so, but it was a good contest. It was actually a good soccer match.
Their sectional week from today starts at Richmond. What do you know about it?
Well, the boys and girls rotate. Last year the boys were at Rushville, so this year we're at Richmond. We drew Franklin, the winner. I got to look at my notes. I wrote so many things down there. We played Rushville at Richmond on Monday, starting at 6, I believe. We are the only game that day, and then the winner of that game will take on Richmond on Wednesday, I believe.
Have we played Rushville this season?
We did, and I think we beat them. I want to say, I don't want to get the score right, but I want to say it was 5-1, 5-2.
Okay.
So, and then of course we played Richmond, and I think they beat us 5-0. So, they're probably the favorite in the sectional. Of course, Newcastle's in there, and we beat them 2-0 early. And then Franklin County we beat, but I can't tell you the score off the top of my head.
Nice facility up there with the turf.
It is, and it's the largest size you can be. It's 120 meters long and whatever the widest width, 80, I think. So it makes passing a little bit different when you played on a little smaller field. But for us, it's kind of nice because we do actually pass the ball further well. So if you can get some people spread out, it makes your passing just a little bit easier to do. But it is a nice facility.
Last 2 weeks we've had soccer coaches on, boys last week and girls the week before, and I think that I can see the enthusiasm, I guess is what I'm trying to say, with those coaches, and hopefully that's carrying over to the kids, and seems to be, but you got a couple coaches that are pretty dedicated to what they do.
Well, Mike's done it for a long time. I can't tell you exactly how many years. But,
7, I think he told us
is that how
when he
many?
was on the show, yes.
Then, Pastor Reynolds, John Reynolds, he helps and his assistant. Those two guys do a great job. And Leah's in her second year and comes from a strong soccer family background. And then, of course, she has an assistant here, Chris Ballum. He's helped her, and he's been a tremendous help to the program. He's helped coach the younger girls as they've come up through the soccer, which the freshman class is probably the first biggest class we've had of girls who's actually played soccer from. We've had 1 here and there, and then 2 here and there. And now we're getting 5 and 6, 7, 8 that's been involved in soccer since they've been peewee. So that will hopefully ultimately help us in the long run. But yeah, I think they both are pretty enthusiastic.
You spoke of Richmond having a regulation field, I guess, and I know you have plans for CHS. How is that materializing for a new soccer facility?
Well, things are moving forward. It's a work in progress, as you know. It's a long-term project, and as finances come available to the school over the course of time, things work a little differently in the school corporation as far as how you get your monies and your finances based on time and what you can spend. So we're working on getting the press box built first, and we got a little meeting on Friday about the topographics of what's underneath the field, where we want to go and how we get it set, and then we'll progress one field at a time along the way.
It sounds like you're making some headway.
Yeah, and I think everybody's excited about it. I know the kids have talked about it a lot, and they'd be just happy to have nice to have a concession stand, press box, restroom out there for where our softball and our soccer people, and a place for them to sit and bleachers, and so we're all excited about it.
So sounds good.
Target date for completion of each phase, for
well,
instance,
the tennis courts are getting ready to get done hopefully by next week. Spartan Bowl's getting close, and then hopefully the concession stand will be finished by the end of the school year, and then we'll just move. The first field that we're thinking about building, that we will build, would be a new softball field. You can't put the soccer field in without moving the softball field where they want to go. So it's kind of do it in little pieces of time. Logistically, the press box makes the most common sense. We get it done this year, and then you know where to put your fields and build it around it. You hate to build your fields first and then try to figure out where you're going to put your concession stand. So logistically, once we get everything done and we get all the finances arranged and everything goes in the right spot, we'll look at doing a field for the girls softball first, probably.
This is going to be in the area north of the football field, in that area, open area.
Correct, what we know as the loop between the school and the football field.
Yes, so. Good deal. You mentioned Spartan Bowl. What's the status of the bowl? I know it's getting a new floor.
Well, we're getting there. It's got some coats of sealer on it, and I can't tell you exactly how many off the top, but I know they had to put X amount of coats on, and then they'll put the paint on, and then they'll put X more amount on, and then target date is October 9th, so just around the corner for it to be completion. We have another construction meeting on Thursday. We'll talk about tennis courts in Spartan Bowl for a little while Thursday morning, and then we might have a better update. So.
If it's completed on time, that means practice can be there, be in the bowl. I know at one time they thought they might have to find a facility for basketball preseason practice, but it looks as though the bowl will be finished.
They're having open gyms and stuff right now, so they use Spartan Arena a lot, which is the middle school gym after volleyball practice is over, and they use them at times. The middle school's not using them, but knocking on wood, girls starts October 19th, and hopefully we'll be able to have our first practice in the gym at the Spartan Bowl on that date.
And first game for the girls is?
November the 7th, I believe.
It's a Saturday?
Saturday against Indianapolis Ritter.
Okay.
I think that's 40 days from our broadcast night here on Monday night. And, not that anyone's counting.
It's just part of your DNA, Sam.
Is it?
So I'm sure if you know when the girls is, I'm sure you know when the opening day for Spartan boys is too.
Yeah,
So.
58 days.
But nobody's counting.
Nobody's counting.
What can you tell us about the team? I know they lost some very talented seniors in graduation.
Well, I think this will be a year where we're probably a little younger than we have been in the past. We have definitely two seniors coming back, Ashley Coker and Amanda Cobb. And then from there, it's just reloading. And
Yes.
I know we do have quite a bit of freshmen that are coming to open facilities and workouts, and not to miss the juniors and the sophomore, but I have a feeling we're going to be in a very young team this year.
One player that I remember, Michaela, that played pretty well last year coming in. I think she was a freshman, so a little bit to work around with the two seniors and some others.
Yeah, she did a very good job. I'm drawing a blank on her last name.
Michaela Taylor.
Michaela Taylor did a good job of stepping in as a freshman as the season went along, and is able to hit the three-point shot and help out our seniors that left last year. But it'll be interesting. I know Michael's had some division, some small college basketball players. Taylor goes up to Wisconsin Racine or Parkside, and then of course Courtney's playing at Franklin, and year before we lost Huntsman to Asheville, North Carolina, or so. We've graduated some girls the last 2 or 3 years, and you don't always come around those very often. So hopefully, as Coach Thompson always does, he'll put a good quality out on the floor, and by the time we get around tournament time, we'll be ready to play.
Michael will be starting his 11th year. I've got here, and he's won 137 games and lost 96. That's a percentage a lot of coaches would.
I think many coaches around the state would like to have that.
I think they would.
If you get on John Harrell and look, you'll be surprised at the number of coaches that's been around for a long time that are at 500 or just a tad below.
Yes, yes. He's been. What about the JV team from last year? I know some of those girls were moving up. Were they successful?
Well, I think they kind of got on a roll as the season went along. A lot of those had not played as freshmen, or as middle schoolers. So there's a lot of new faces, a lot of young faces that are just really trying to learn. And I know we've had some lower numbers in our middle school, and hopefully that'll change in the next couple of years. So as the season developed, I think they got a lot of improvement, but it's going to depend on how much time they put in over the summertime and to want to get better at what they're doing.
When do the girls start playing organized ball? What grade? Down in the elementaries?
Well, I think they can play in the elementary leagues along with the boys on the school team. And, I can't say I've known people take their kids and start AAU basketball by the time they're in 3rd grade and 4th grade. So sometimes it's just up to mom and dad how soon they want to get them out there and let them go too. So if you got a parent that's interested in starting a team and then picking up kids to go travel.
You mentioned your job as athletic director. What's the toughest job you have?
I don't know if there's anything tough. I mean, it's just different things you got to do every day that, you come to work with a plan in mind, and something happens and you got to tweak that, and you can always try to get back to what you need to get done. But
how do you cover so many athletic events?
Well, it's helpful to have Shane Russell, the assistant AD,
to
help. So we kind of trade off. He kind of covers the girls' sports, and then I do the boys' sports, and we help each other when we got conflicts. So.
And do you ever go out of town? I don't know athletic directors from other schools. I don't know if they come to Connersville or not, but
yeah, there's a few. We try to get all the way football games, and then we try to cover all the way boys basketball and girls basketball games. So. And of course, we get to the sectionals and try to get to the conference tournaments when we can get down there if we don't have something going on at our place. And we get help from Mr. Judd and Mr. West and Dr. Rose at times if we need a little extra assistance from the high school staff.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you've got a program that well-rounded, and I think it shows with the product that we have.
Yeah, I would think the people are happy with what we
think they
offer
are.
to the kids and the time that the coaches and everybody puts in to give our kids the quality of opportunities that they have, and things to compete in and play with.
Pretty good community support for the most part, I think. I travel around all over doing boys and girls basketball and football, and it seems like that we travel well as well as having nice home crowds. And I would assume some of that is in some of the other sports too that I don't get to. But I think we're pretty fortunate here in Connersville that we do still have better crowds than most.
Oh, I would agree. I mean, you go to a football game and, we're not traditionally a football power, and we always have a pretty full stands on our side. And we obviously travel very well in boys and girls basketball for both sides. And of course, as kids and coaches, we always like to see more fans come to the game. But I would think most people are excited about how well we travel when we come to their school, and just the atmosphere it gives to the kids. Instead of playing in front of 42 people, you're playing in front of 300 or 400, and on the road for us. So it is always nice to have that crowd, and I don't think anybody can complain about the community support that we get for our athletics.
Of course, people say they remember back, and we all like to remember the good old days 25, 30 years ago when we would fill the bowl up, and maybe not even that long ago, back several years ago, back in the late 90s with the girls when, Martinsville came to town, we sold out the bowl on a weeknight for a girls game, and we'd like to see that again, but we've had some pretty special players during that time too that helped to fill those seats.
Well, it helped to have April. I mean, you missed basketball, and then, of course, Martinsville was just tremendous, and they had 2 or 3 solid players, and of course,
terrific coach.
She would tell you like as it too. So, but she was very good, and of course, you had Matt, and was able to fill the bowl, and and he's had a very successful career so far. But I think just the times have changed so much with what's available out there on a Friday night or a Saturday, and I'm sure used to in the 70s when you went away on Saturday afternoon, you made sure you got back Saturday night before the home basketball game. And I'm not sure that always happens anymore, but it would be nice if it did. But so many things in life now pull you this way and that way, as rapid as it seems to be going.
Any rules changes, the IHSA, as far as basketball is concerned this year?
None that I'm aware of at this point in time.
We talked about the girls. What about the boys? When do they start?
Boys start 11-11. Nope, I think 11-1. I even wrote it down. I can't even read my handwriting. 11-9.
And those are set by the IHSA, right? I mean, how many practices you can have, is that right?
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks before you can actually have it. You have to have 10 days of practice in before you can have a scrimmage, and then once you have your scrimmage, they give you a set week you can start. But you got to have 10 full days of practice before you can do any type of
of games. And Wednesday before Thanksgiving, November 25th, the boys open with those guys from the East, and
the Liberty guys, the Union County Patriots, tradition. So
that's always quite a night.
It is. I think it's a good night for everybody's back in town for Thanksgiving, because all the college kids are home, and
it's the biggest crowd of the
everybody's
season,
there
probably, isn't it?
It's one of the largest ones.
Yes,
It just depends on how good you are and how good the opponent is at times.
Yes. We're going to wrap this up. Have all the officials lined up and everything?
As of right now, knock on wood and say we do. So
do you
get a lot of changes though
do
as
you
the
really?
season goes along. Either somebody gets hurt, or I know a gentleman in Rushville who does soccer broke his leg, so you have to replace him. So things change over time with family things that come up or whatever.
But that's another job of yours, is
myself and Shane. Shane does a lot more of the hiring of the officials than I do. So
we want to thank you for joining us, bringing us up to date on Spartan Sports, and it's always a pleasure to have you on, Brent.
I appreciate you being here, Fan. Thanks, you and Sam.
Thank you.
Brent Duncan, an athletic director of CHS, our guest here tonight. Sam and I will return next week with another Spartan Sports Report here on TV3.